All right, so we are ready to rock and roll. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome, welcome. I'm so excited tonight. I'm so excited because of my guest. My guest is a very, very special lady. It is well. Let me tell you who I am first before we get into the introduction of who tonight's guest is. I am your host. My name is Keisha Way. I'm your servant leader by design, and I help busy women create balance in their life, home, and business. I'm also the founder of Journey to Healthy Healing, where we take you from feeling hopeless to full of faith, hope, and courage. And on tonight, it is Sunday night, and we are talking to Lady Raquel Jones. So, if we were in a live audience, we would definitely ask for some applause because I know this is a very special lady. We share her with the community of Warrenton. We share her with Warren County Middle School. We share her with a church family as well. We share her with a mentoring group, the Kingdom Woman Experience mentoring group. But I'm not going to do all the talking. I would love for Miss Raquel to introduce herself to the people. Tell them who you are and what you are about on tonight.
Right. So I am Raquel Jones. I'm a teacher by career. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a servant of God. I'm one whom God has called for such a time as this to, carry out his mission, trying to win souls for Christ. I will be hosting an event that's very, very dear to me on next Saturday. Um, we're only thing we're trying to do is introduce people to Christ. That's all we're trying to do. That's all we're trying to do.
That's it. And I'm so excited because I know it's going to be a powerful event. So, the way I want to start this conversation out, because it's strictly a conversation and we're just sharing this conversation with the world, I want to talk to you about faith because initially, when you shared this vision with us during the Kingdom Woman virtual revival, you shared it with us about what it was that you wanted to do. But most importantly, you shared with me about your faith and how your faith had allowed you to do so many different things that you thought you could not do. So I want you to tell us a little bit about how your faith has carried you, Raquel, the woman, not Raquel, the mother, not Raquel, the wife, but Raquel, the mother, because we have to take care of ourselves first before we're able to take care of anyone else. So let's talk about your faith.
Right. Okay. So when you sent me the text with faith and had my name beside it, I was just like, wow, wow. So faith, we all know that, it's the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that's been pretty much my life. My life, you know, when you step out on nothing and believe that something is there, that's just how it's been all of my life. Anything I've ever accomplished, anything I've ever obtained, it always took faith. It was always work. And we do know that the Bible says faith without works is dead. But, you know, it has been a struggle at times. And even with the taking it to the street initiative, just like I told you all, we talked about it, during the Kingdom Women Revival. And I was so excited about it. And I was so, sure that's what I was going to do. And then here we go, like a month or so later, I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm going to wait on it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to, wait on it. And, the more I, push back and say, I'll just do it in December, or January or whenever, the more God tugged my heart, and I'm just like, Lord, but, we're in the midst of a pandemic and, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to carry out something like this. And, and I knew it was my 40th birthday coming up. And I was just like, I told my husband, like, this is how I want to kick off my 40th birthday. And, he was like, let's do it. Let's do it. All the while, the devil is in my ear. This is something you cannot pull off. This is something, you can't do. But at the end, and I think it was just last week, and I told you, I knew it was like last minute or whatever, but I told God, you know what? I have to do it. I'm going to do it. So, and that's what faith is. A lot of times I didn't see how I was going to get the things I needed for it. I didn't know who was going to, assist me with it. I didn't know, whether or not I was going to be allowed to do it up there, but you know what? God just worked everything out. And that's what faith is. When we make up in our mind to do a thing, consult God first, get his approval. Everything else
Yes.
will work itself out. Everything else will work itself out.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I want to share something with you. I was going through my email the other day. I was looking for a particular email, but with me, anytime I look for something, I always go to the little search bar. And when I typed in the word search, an email popped up that my brother shared with me, I want to say back in 2016. And inside of that email was a Warren County newsletter from the school, and it spotlighted you. And I meant to send you a text so that you could see that. But it was talking about you as a teacher, you coming on board being a teacher within inside of Warren County Middle School. And I can remember when you were going through taking your test and trying to, go ahead and get that certification, and how you felt when you became that teacher within that community, the very same school that we attended. You became that teacher. So I know that is what your faith looks like. When those times were looking rough and it looked as though you were not going to get that certification and get into that classroom and do what you so desired to do, I remember you sending forth those prayers on the prayer call.
Yes,
and look at you today.
Look, I mean, oh my goodness, just to think about that, sometimes bring tears to my eyes. I can remember just going through school, working. I was working a full-time job in Hancock County, going to school at Augusta University, trying to get my certification. So, I'm driving to Sparta every day, coming back through Warrenton, going to class in Augusta, then have to turn around, come right back home. Get home like 10, 11 o'clock at night, got to do it all over the same, again, the next day. Even with my certification, Keisha, I mean, what I went to school for, ELA, that's my forte. I couldn't pass the test for nothing. I couldn't pass the test for nothing. As a matter of fact, I took the test 7 times. Yeah, I completed it the 7th time. So and every time I took it, Keisha, I mean, I knew it. My mind, I knew it. Every answer I put, I knew it. But every time the results come back, you did not meet the mark. I don't say I failed. I just say I didn't meet the mark, because there's no failure in God. So I just always told myself, I didn't meet the mark this time. Okay, that's fine. So anyway, but I cried my little tears. I cried my little tears about it now. But at the end of the day, I always knew that God was going to do what he said he was going to do, because I knew that I would be a certified teacher at the Warren County Middle School. Now that's what I knew, because he had already told me that. And in spite of every time I failed, I didn't meet the mark. I'm sorry. I didn't meet the mark on the test. Exactly. So, but on that 7th time, Keisha, the strangest thing, now this is what faith would do and your trust in God would do. I remember the last time I took it at UGA. I remember taking the test at UGA. I remember it was in February, because they were calling for a chance of snow or something. And as I was on my way to take the test, I saw little snow flurries coming down. So I'm like, Lord, I got to go pass this test, because I had to have it passed by the end of February. No. Yeah, beginning of March. And so I went to take the test, and I literally knew nothing. I didn't know anything. On my way home, I was like, how did it go? How did I said, God did it. I don't know. I didn't know anything, but I just believe that I passed, just like all the rest of the times. I just believed that I was going to pass it. Lo and behold, I did. Got the results back. I passed it. And the strangest thing about it, I was in the program. Didn't supposed to be, because I sent my SPED certification, my test results for SPED, but I sent the ELA results, but they were failing. So I don't know who dropped the ball, but I was in the program. When they found out about it, guess what I was doing? Giving them my results, my passing results for the LA test. That's what I was doing. And I mean, to think about it sometime now, it is just unreal. I know it was all God ordained. And I know it was because of the faith that I had in him. Because of the faith that I had in him. Even though I was just like, Joe, though you slay me, yet will I trust you. I'm just going to wait till my appointed time. And that was my appointed time, on that seventh time. So I just thank God just for, having faith in him. If I'm a firm believer, if he said it, that settles it, in spite of what it looks like all around me. In spite of what it looks like all around me, I just believe and I stand on the word of God. If God said it, and I mean, that's just for anybody out there in Facebook land. If he said it, you believe it. You believe it. He will do it. So here I am today. I am an educator at Warren County Middle School, and ELA educator at that. So I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how long it takes. If God said it,
he will do it. So I hope people were able to actually catch that. 7 times you took this test. 7 is the number of completion. Each time you did the necessary work and you did the necessary steps.
Every time. Every
time. Every time. And although you didn't get the passing mark, because like we said, we're not taking it as a loss and we're not looking at it as failure. We're looking at it as a lesson learned, because you're still learning that you got to put grit in the game when you're doing something. And if you've already put your trust in God, he's going to make it happen. And when you went and looked at that test, familiar to you, at that point, that's where God really showed up and said, let me show you what I'll do. Because
I didn't know
you have listened to me. Yes, this is just, oh my God. See, that's why I told you, I was like, this is going to be so easy for you to do. Even when you thought about that you may not push forward with what your vision is for next Saturday. No, ma'am, you got to do it. And I thought about something when you text me, you said, you were thinking about making it small. I just don't see it being small, because anytime God is involved, it's big. So, no, ma'am, what you got going on is going to be, it's going to be awesome. It's going to reach some people. And last night, was it last night? I think it was last night when we rode through, it was Friday night actually, and I meant to share it with you through a text, but as we rode through Covington, we rode through Uptown, as we would say in Warrenton, Uptown. We rode through town where like courthouse is. I promise you, there were ladies on the courthouse steps praying, and they had a sign outside of there that said free prayer. So that right there was confirmation for me that what you're doing on next Saturday is definitely something that is needed within our community. It's needed in the world. And today, to touch and agree on, whatever their heart's desires are, whatever it is they're asking God to do for them, in them, within their families and whatnot. So you, my dear, are doing exactly what you were supposed to be doing. Miss Lady Raquel Jones. I'm so excited about this. So before we got on the call, I was actually able to get my little praise on with your family. So can you tell those that do not follow you what it is that you and your family do on Sunday nights?
Okay, so this is another thing God had, a couple of years told us to do. He told us to reach out, go, expand our ministry, our home ministry, expand it, because we know that, some people, I mean, just the reason we're doing this Saturday is because some people will never go into those 4 walls, which is called the church.
Exactly.
The church. But we all know that we are the church. We are the church. And, and my husband and I, we've talked about it. We said we're going to do it, and, just post a song or two, every Sunday night. We just neglected to do what we were told by God to do. So, of course, during the pandemic, God has sat a lot of people down to just, talk to them, look, you're either going to do it or you're going to suffer the consequence. So we decided we want to be obedient to the Spirit of Christ. So we decided just to, get together and show the world what we do on a daily basis here. It's not just on Sunday night we get together and sing and pray and learn of the Word of God. We do this often. And even the first one that we did, that was done in, I want to say, right at the beginning of the pandemic. It was done like in April, the beginning of April. We were just sitting around in our living room, just, singing and playing and, praying and things like that. And God just told us, let the people know. Let them know that, the church is in you. I know the church doors are closed, but your church door is open. And that's what we do. We just try to hope, encouragement, for the people, because a lot of people, we're hurting, a lot of people are hurting, going through things, and, our minds can't even fathom what a lot of people are going through. And we know we struggle at times, dealing with the things that are going on in the world. And I know that others are too. So God is just he told us, bring hope to people, just give them a word, whether it's through song, whether it's through, just through a little snippet. God's just saying, bring hope to the people. So that's what we do. We just get together and say, okay, let's do it. And a lot of times, how kids are, they don't want to do it sometimes, but we just remind them, this is not a mandate of ours. This is a mandate of Christ.
Yes.
So we're going to be obedient, and we're just going to do what he's called for us to do. So we are the 5 RJs.
Yes.
We're the 5 RJs.
Yes.
We're just trying to build the kingdom, Keisha. That's pretty much, that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to win souls. We're trying to, let people know that there's hope. Let people know that, you can make it, if you only believe, we just have to believe that, he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. That's all we're doing. That's all. It's not about us. It's not about us. And that's one thing, my husband always pray, even, before we start, he always say, we don't want them to see us. We want them to see all of him. We want the people to see all of Christ, not us, because it's not about us. It's all about him.
Well, I'm so thankful that you all are being obedient and you are inviting us into your living room. We're able to experience your talented children, your talented husband, yourself. It's one of the things that, most people don't necessarily want to do, having children that are still teenagers. They may not want to sit amongst their parents and, do this type of thing, but your children have been taught very well. It is okay to do this. It is okay to praise God. It is okay to, give him glory. That is something that we all need to start thinking about, because even though we're not speaking to people on a daily basis, if they can pick up something so simple as a tool called Facebook or YouTube and experience what we get to experience through God, that within itself is giving him glory, giving him praise. And I'm that you all decided to be obedient and, follow through. So I do want to ask, with the 5 RJs, are you guys on YouTube, or is it just on Facebook where we can catch you?
It's just on Facebook. However, we're getting ready to expand a little. We're getting ready to expand a little. I'm not really tech savvy at all, so I have Raven doing most of the stuff like that. So, we're they call us old school. I'm just going to be 40, so I don't know why I'm old school. But anyway, we are getting ready to expand a little. We are.
Okay, because you guys get a lot of views on Facebook. I noticed that. I'm that type of person. I look at the details. So I do notice that you get a lot of views on Facebook. And I do understand and know that there's so many people that are not on Facebook.
Right.
But they still have a cell phone where they can pick up, YouTube, and they can go on and listen and watch you guys as well. So just want to definitely touch on that piece.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into what is going on next Saturday. Saturday.
Yes.
You are taking it to the streets. Can you tell us about taking it to the streets?
So we are taking it to the streets next Saturday. So, like I mentioned before, there are some people that probably would never go into the four walls of the church. However, that's our job to make sure we introduce Christ to them. We don't know how anyone was reared or whether or not, what their parents believed or whatever, but I feel as servants of God, as, missionaries for Christ, that's our jobs and that's to meet people where they are. And if it's in the streets, that's where we need to go do it. That's where we need to go meet them at. So as my husband and I, we were talking, we were just like, so, what do you think we can do? We know that this is not a one-time thing. So we were just, I told him initially I wanted to do like a jump start of my just celebrate my birthday. And he was like, hey, let's do it. And so I was thinking, I'm like, what about the courthouse step? He was like, the courthouse? I'm like, yeah. It's like in the midst of town, people ride by. We can just hold up signs saying that Jesus saved you. You need prayer. Let's just have like a prayer meeting or something. He's just like, sounds good. It's different, but hey, let's do it. So of course we went to God with it. We went in prayer about it, and God, He gave us the go. He gave us the green light pretty much. Showed us how to do it, when to do it, so that's where taking it to the streets came from. And I also, it was kind of during the time where so much was going on here, so many, killings and deaths and things like that, not just in Warren County, but just in the surrounding areas. And I told my husband and I, we were talking, and we were like, I just think we need to advertise Christ. We need to advertise. So that's where taking it to the streets, really came from. He showed us this a couple of years ago as well. Like I told you, we just being slowful. But during these last couple of months, we've really just been in tune with what God has been saying and just acting on his instructions. So taking it to the streets, that's exactly where that came from. So we're just going to advertise Christ. We're going to just be out holding signs, honoring prayer requests. If they walk up and, ask for prayer for whatever particular thing, we're just going to believe God with them. We're just going to touch and agree that, God is going to do what he do, and that's work miracles in their lives. If they don't want to tell us what it is, we're going to have a prayer box out there, sticky notes, write your prayer request down, put it in there. We have ministers, pastors, evangelists, out there to just touch and agree with us all. We'll have live worship music. We're gonna have it all. We're just gonna offer Christ, cocoa, coffee, and cookies. We're just gonna have a good time. We're just gonna have a good time advertising Christ. I don't know. Someone may want to give their life to Christ. I don't know. But I'm believing God for I'm believing God for something miraculous. That's what we're believing God.
Exactly.
We're believing God for something miraculous. And I'm gonna tell you what really just pushed me into this. I was telling my husband, I was telling him I wasn't gonna do it, but maybe I think it was last week or the week before last. I was just sitting and I had like a vision, that and we talk about how when we get to the gate, we know God is gonna either say, well done, or he's gonna say, depart. And I was just saying, I don't want God to say, depart from me, because I was so selfish and so whatever, I couldn't go uptown. He said, depart from me because you just want to go uptown and hold up a sign for a couple of hours, or just let somebody know that Jesus saves, or just let somebody know that Jesus loves them. Something as simple as that. So we gotta do what we have to do. We have to do what we have to do to win souls for Christ. To win souls for Christ. That's what we're doing.
So this is taking place on
On
Saturday.
Saturday.
Can you tell us exactly where and what time and what is it that you need from the community of Warrenton to help you with this event?
Okay. So it will be taking place at 10 a.m., 10 to 12. So 10 a.m. to 12 noon on Saturday, the 21st, next Saturday, coming up, at the Warren County Courthouse, around the square pretty much. I mean, and it may even be some on the other side of the road, just advertising Christ. You know what? I just want them to bring their heart. I just want them to bring their
Exactly.
heart, and know in their faith, to know that
Mm-hmm.
whatever petition that they have up before God, if they just come, even if they don't, Keisha, they may not even be able to come, but may be able to just send us the inbox and let us know what their prayer request is, or just say pray for me. I'll put their name in the box, and we're gonna touch and agree that it will
Mm-hmm.
be established. That's what we're gonna do. So I just want the community to come out. We will Social distancing will be taking place. We have
Of course.
sanitizer, wipes. We have the works. Masks are
Mm-hmm.
required. If anyone needs them, we have them. We have whatever they need. And then a bonus, we have
Mm-hmm.
cookies and coffee and cocoa. We even have a bonus. So, you know, I mean, hey, come get your prayers answered, which is, I believe that God is going to do what
Yes.
he said he's going to do. I just believe it. That's what
Exactly.
faith is. And anytime we have
It
a
is.
petition up before him, we have to believe it. If we have to believe
Mm-hmm.
in order to receive it. So I just believe that every petition go in will be answered. That's just what I believe. That's
Exactly.
just what.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys heard it first from First Lady Raquel Jones. She is inviting you to Warrenton. If you are in Warrenton, you can definitely join her on the Courthouse Square steps next Saturday, the 21st, from 10 a.m. until noon. Providing, what is it again? You are offering Christ, cocoa, cookies, and
Cocoa,
coffee.
coffee. Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, for those of you who cannot attend the event, you heard her. She said you can send an inbox and she will place your name into the prayer box and definitely make sure that your prayer request is met. So, if you are not able to attend, make sure that you reach out. I mean, you can even reach out to me and I can give her the information if you guys are
Right.
not following her. Definitely want to make sure that, what it is that Raquel is doing is she is stepping out on faith and she is doing exactly what God has asked her to do. And she's not looking for anything other than to glorify him.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
It's
That's
just that
all.
to glorify him. And she is not using, but she is having her friends and her family to assist with this. So you may see familiar faces, you may not see familiar faces, but duly note the people that are attached to this assignment are supposed to be attached to this
Right.
assignment. And they're going to lay hands, well, of course, social distancing, but they will definitely lay hands and pray and do what needs to be done for you. So, is there
Right.
anything else that you want to share with our community?
No, it takes a unit. That's all. That's all. Sometimes we may not can do it all by ourselves, but I'm saying people that are going through, you can't bear this burden alone. You can't bear it alone. And that's what we are. We are helpers one to another. And God tells us to bear one another's burdens. Weep with those that weep, rejoice with them that rejoice. You know, be pray for them. That's what we're doing. We just
Yes.
want to pray with you. We just want to help assist you in whatever way we can. If you don't know Christ, that's what we're out there doing, just to, help you build that relationship with them. It may be like one-on-one counseling sessions going on. You may want to speak with an elder about something. A lot of times, I don't know as much as my pastor knows. Maybe you want to speak with the seasoned, pastor or whatever, they're gonna be there. We're there just to
Mm.
help, just to help draw them closer and closer to Christ. We know you know, they've been saying it since we've been babies, Keisha. We're in the last days. We're living in the last days, the end times, but we do know for certain that the
We are
end
in it.
times are here. They're here. So, and that's what our assignment is. We just want to win as many souls. We know that the enemy, he has his team. I mean, they're lined up ready for war, but we want God's army to be just as powerful. And we know that it's already, we know he's already defeated the enemy, but we just want to just get a few more on our team. You know, we just want a few more.
Definitely.
So that's it. That's all we're going to be doing.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad that you all decided to join us on this Sunday night. I know football is probably going on. It's a wonder you didn't hear something in the background over here. But I am so glad that you all decided to join us on this Sunday so that you could catch this information about taking it to the streets. This ministry is going to go further and further. You heard her. This is the first of many events that she will have in this manner. So again, thank you all for joining us on this evening, and I hope to see you all later, well, sooner than later. And you all have a very, very good evening. Stay behind for me, Raquel.